Hello everyone. Our today's topic is class 9, chapter number 6, tissues. Let us see what is tissue. We have already completed fundamental unit of life, that is cell. Now today we have to start with new chapter of biology, that is tissue. It is a well-known fact that all living organisms are made up of cell. We have already studied in previous chapter that each and every living organism is made up of cell, whether it is unicellular organism, whether it is multicellular organism. Here I have written examples of unicellular organisms such as bacteria, yeast, protozoa. Protozoans means amoeba, euglena. These are the examples of protozoan. Yeast is a fungi. So these are all unicellular organisms which are made up of only single cell, whereas multicellular organisms like man, lion, dog, etc. All these animals, whether it is a unicellular or it is a multicellular, these are made up of cell. Each unicellular organism of cell which act as a site of diverse life activities such as intake of food, intake of oxygen, excretion, etc. That means each unicellular organism, that particular cell is capable of performing all its functions like digestion, respiration, excretion. So that single cell is capable of doing all the vital activities of organism. But in unicellular organism, there are millions of different types of cells present in them. So human being, dog, lion, these organisms are multicellular organisms and they are made up of different types of cells, and these cells are in millions inside our body. These cells cluster together in order to perform specific function of the body, and these cells group together to perform a specific function means for digestion there will be a group of cell, for digesting the food, for excretion there will be a group of cells. For any kind of function, the cell, similar looking cell, will cluster themselves to perform a single function. Since the group of cell is required to carry out particular function, the cell perform the function very efficiently, and so that function will be performed by these cluster of cells very efficiently. And this group of cell which perform similar function are called as tissue. So whatever function such as sending of messages from one cell to another cell, that is nerve cells, group of nerve cells, they perform the function of carrying out the messages. Movement of contraction and relaxation of muscle helps in movement, body movement. So these are all groups of cells which are helping in performing a single function, and these group of cell are called as tissue. So what is tissue? Tissue is a group of cell, a similar looking group of cell which can perform a similar task is called as tissue. But plant and animal tissues are not same. They are different because the characters of plant and animals are different. Most of the plants are stationary and remain fixed at one place, whereas animals are not stationary and move from one place to another in search of food. So this is the difference between plant and animals. Growth of plant is indefinite. Plant grows throughout their life with the help of certain tissues located in certain regions in the body, whereas growth of animal is definite. So this is the difference between plant and animal. So plant and animal tissues are also different. Now we have to study the first tissue, that is plant tissue. Let us see what does plant tissue means, or how many types of plant tissues are there. So there are two types of plant tissue. One is known as meristematic tissue. Another one is known as permanent tissue. So plant tissues are of two types. One is meristematic tissue. Another one is known as permanent tissue. Let us see what is meristematic tissue, and then we will see what is permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue are living cells. So all the meristematic cells, the cells which is making meristematic tissues, these are all living. They can be round, oval, or polygonal in shape. So their shape can be round, it can be oval, or it can be polygonal. They have a large nucleus with no vacuole. Vacuole is absent over here. Intercellular space between the cells is also absent. So there is no intercellular space gap. There is gap. There is no gap between the two cells of meristematic tissue. The cells are also small in size but have high capacity of division. So these are dividing tissues. They divide continuously. We have already started plant tissue. Just now I have told you the meaning of tissue. Tissue is a group of cells performing similar functions. Is called as tissue. Plant and animal tissues are different since characters are different. As I told you, plants are stationary and remain fixed at one place, where animals are not stationary and move from one place to another place. Plant growth is indefinite, where animal growth is definite. So these are some of the difference between plant and animals. So the tissues of plant and animals are also different. So we are studying plant tissue, and I have told you it is classified into two: permanent and meristematic and permanent tissue. And we are studying meristematic tissue. These are the characters or properties of meristematic tissue, that all the meristematic cells of meristematic tissues are living. They can be oval, rounded, or polygonal in shape. They have large nucleus but no vacuoles. Intercellular space is absent, and these cells keeps on dividing. Whereas in permanent tissue, we will see they do not divide. But these meristematic tissues are further classified on the basis of its position, where it is present in the plant, which part they are present in plant. On the basis of that, these dividing cells or tissue, which is called as meristematic tissue, is of different type. Now let us see how many types of meristematic tissues are there. Depending upon the occurrence of meristematic tissue on plant body, there are three types of meristematic tissue. So on the basis of its position in the plant where they are present, meristematic tissue is of three type, and they are, this is a diagram of a stem tip. What is this? This is a stem tip. Stem tip. So what is this? On the basis of this, on the basis of occurrence, meristematic tissue is of three types. This is the tip of the stem. The uppermost region at the tip is called as apical meristematic tissue. Then below apical, there is intercalary meristematic tissue, and below intercalary, there is lateral meristematic tissue. So on the basis of occurrence, meristematic tissues are of three types. The first one is apical, after the intercalary, and the third one is lateral meristematic tissue. Now let us come and see what are the properties of apical meristematic tissue. Apical meristematic tissue is located at the tip of root or shoot. So this is the tip of shoot. Shoot means stem. And the topmost position is occupied by a meristematic tissue, and it is called as apical meristematic tissue. They help in growth of root system as well as shoot system. So help in increasing the size of root and shoot. Since we know meristematic tissues are dividing, so this is also dividing, these also contain a dividing cell, and the cells becomes enlarged and the size of the stem or the root grows. Intercalary. Just see where is intercalary. This is the intercalary. These are the leaves and the branches which are shown over here, and just below it, just near to it, is the intercalary. Now, what are the properties of intercalary? Intercalary meristems are located at internodes of the base of leaves. Intercalary meristems helps in increasing the length of internode. This is usually seen in monocotyledonous plant. So just we can see intercalary, where is the position. So these are the leaves and the branches. So on the base of the leaf and the branches, the meristem which is present is known as intercalary meristematic tissue. Now, what is the function of intercalary? So it is located in the region where the leaves, base of leaf and branches are present, and helps in their growth, helps in increasing their size. Last one is lateral meristematic tissue. The intercalary meristem are located at the internode or the base of the leaf. Sorry, lateral. The lateral meristems are present on the lateral side of the stem and root of the plant. So we can see near the trunk, where is the trunk present, that side, the tissue which is present is known as lateral meristematic tissue. The meristem helps in increasing the thickness of the plant. Just imagine when we bring a small plant, the width of that plant is very small. But when the plant grows, we see it changes into a huge tree. And then we see the stem. That stem changes into trunk. So its width has been increased. So that increase in the thickness of the plant is done by lateral meristem. So these are what? These are the different types of meristematic tissue that we have completed. Now we have to start with permanent tissue that we will see in our next video.